Ah,
Open. Okay.
hello and welcome. This is a broadcast of Red Noses International. My name is Scott Whitmer, and I am the artistic director of a team of clowns here in Vienna. And today, my guest is Christophe Dumalin. He is the artistic development director of Red Noses International. Red Noses International is consists of clowns and clown teams from 10 different countries. And today I'm here to talk to Christophe about how healthcare clowns engage with children and adults with special needs. Welcome, Christophe.
Thank you, Scott, and hello, everybody. So, yes, it's like this that we start to work in hospitals where we meet all kind of people, and for us clowns, it doesn't matter if this person is a child, a small child. The origin, or if it's a person with disability or without disability. So we are very interested to see who is in front of us, and we adapt our energy, our speed, and our clown work on the person which is in front of us. So I would say the very first thing is that it doesn't matter so much. But of course, yeah, and then we will speak about it. It's very interesting for us to meet children with special needs.
Great. And something big happened in 2000, I think 12. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah, we started to prepare it in 2011, but then in 2012 we start to with a show with a new format. It's called the Caravan Orchestra. It was originally developed from the clinic clowns in Holland. They developed a half an hour music theater show for children with strong and multiple disabilities. And the main idea for them was to see actually that those children very often are cut out of participating to artistic activities. So they, because these kids are extremely free in their mind, free in the way they express themselves, and so sometimes they are loud and sometimes they disturb. And for people who regularly go to theater, we know that we like to have the silence, we like to have this concentration before the show starts. And so if these kids come and they just express their feelings and they wish to join, which is basically a big enthusiasm and a big emotional engagement, it disturbs the habit of a theater. So they are not well seen there. And so with this idea, they developed this show of half an hour that we are now performing exactly since 9 years.
Nice, nice. And where do they perform these shows, the Caravan Orchestra shows?
So we perform in schools, basically, and we really go into the daily life of the children. And it's a format with 3 clowns, and what we try is to change as less as possible of the daily routine of the kids, because very often these children, for them, a feeling of security, it's what they know. Everything which is around them, they know. And for some children, it takes time before they adapt this new environment. So in this show, we try to change as little as possible of the daily routine. So we go into their classrooms and we create a kind of very intimate, safe space. It's maximum 7 people are allowed in this show, because for half an hour we have a very intensive communication with each other.
And what makes this communication, how is it adapted to their needs? What's special about this show?
What is really special is that normally we clowns, when we go in hospital, we visit the children or in the elderly homes or also in refugee shelter where we go. We try to make a great show. We try to make a sparkle of energy and of joy and of humor. And sometimes it's like a firework or a volcano, and it can be very alive. Of course, we adapt always. Also in the hospitals, we adapt to the energy of the child. But what is very special about these children, that they are called children with disability. I rather would say children with special abilities, and not with special needs, but with same needs, but maybe special cares and extra powers, is that the world around them goes too fast. Everything is fast. Everything is based on efficiency and on maximizing your talents. And um, it's sometimes just too fast for them. So the world is too fast for them very often. So what we are basically doing there is to give time and space to them. And
Mm.
so what we discover very often when we arrive there, it's a very musical show where the spoken language is very reduced, uh, is very musical, and that in the moment we give really time to them, we really show them here you can be, do, say whatever you want, whatever you need. You can react, you can participate or not, you can enjoy or not. It's up to you, that they feel that it's about them. And
Mm.
when they really feel this, then the magic happens, is that they go out of their shelters, go out of their, oh my God, what is happening here? Because
Mm.
sometimes it's just too much.
Mhm. So you mentioned that this caravan orchestra has a lot of music in it, and that the speed is slow and very inviting. Does the show also appeal to other senses other than their ears and eyes?
Yes, yes. The interesting thing is that the original show in Holland is called Het Klein Zintuig Orkest, is the orchestra of senses.
Mm.
So it's everything based on senses actually, and for us on connection. But um, it's a story of an orchestra that is looking for new musicians, and then they find it with the kids, and then the kids need their instruments. But where are those instruments? We don't know where they are,
Mm.
and they travel with a trunk and a suitcase, and looking for the instruments. They realize they must be in the suitcase, so they try to open the suitcase, but it's blocked. It's locked. So we need a key,
Mm.
and together with the trunk and with the suitcase, we have a chain with 200 different kind of keys with all shapes and sizes, and some are very old, some very modern. And we let the children find the right key to open the suitcase first and then the trunk. And so it's a moment where they can feel, they can hear the sound of these keys, they can touch it, they feel the coldness of the metal, but they also can look at the shape, and they um, so it's a very tactile and very musical show,
Mm.
and it's everything about the senses. And there is also a special reason for this, is that um, these children might not have a big focus on their cognitive possibilities or capacities, but for this, they have more freedom and more space for all the other kind of intelligence, their emotional intelligence, their artistic intelligence, and also their senses are sometimes much more of a motor, but for this reason also very, very sensitive. And some children can't accept all of these pictures and sounds and feelings, so they switch off a part. Some kids follow the whole show with closed ears, or they say, no, this is too much, so they close the eyes because they take what they can take. And so this is for us, of course, everything is allowed. They can really follow it in their way, in their level, in their speed. And as we are listening to them very much, as we are also aware of the sound that we produce, of the impulses that we are giving, we also have very colorful costumes. So we are permanently adapting and measuring what is too much, where is the moment to give something, and if we realize it's too much, we take a step backwards. And so we are in constant dialogue with them and with their senses, and we communicate also through our senses with them.
Well, it sounds very appealing for these special children. Uh, is this performed only in Vienna, or where is this offered?
Yes, so we started with Red Noses in Austria in 2012, and then we moved on in the other federal countries to Tyrolia and to Styria, and then we also went in our partner organizations. So by now, I think we are in 6 different countries. There is
Wow.
a team in Czech Republic, in Hungary, in Slovakia, in Lithuania, in Croatia, in Slovenia, and I'm not forgetting, I think.
Sounds very attractive. It sounds like something that people all over the world could really appreciate.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. And it works very well.
Sounds like it. So tell me, what other activities do the Red Noses in Austria and the Red Noses International? How else are we reaching out to people, children, and people with special needs and special abilities?
Yes, I was talking before a little bit about this, how much space and how much what is the space and what is the possibility for people with special need to enjoy culture, to participate, to
Hmm.
cultural activities, because it's not only about consuming but also producing, to participate to it. And uh, of course, it's different from country to country and from school to school, let's say. But uh, generally, we observe that the possibilities are still very reduced, and that there is a tendency generally in Europe to go more and more in the direction of an inclusive society and inclusive educational system. And inclusion means that whatever your mental capacity, whatever your strength, power, abilities or disabilities, everybody's part of this society, and everybody should have the same right, the same possibility to participate, to enjoy.
Hmm.
And so um, the Caravan Orchestra show, it's very intimate and it's very specific. It's really with a group of children. So we basically perform in schools, in special schools or specialized schools, where the focus is very much on them, to protect them also and to give them a lot of time and space. But there is so much more around us, and there are so many children also that need a little bit more support, that need a little bit more care, and this show is not really fitting for them. So in Tyrolia, a few years ago, we developed a new show for children who have more learning problems or something, and they were not really fitting for Caravan Orchestra. So we developed another show uh, where it's a little bit longer. The story is more important. The clowns are more present. There is more emotionality, and so this was fitting more for them, so they could more enjoy the story itself. As in Caravan Orchestra, the story is just a structure. It's just an excuse to be there and to connect.
Hmm.
So this is one example.
Hmm.
Also now we applied and got EU grant from Creative Europe, and we started a project together with 7 countries, all in all. And this project is called Clown Nexus, which has very strongly as a base inclusion, but also the co-creation on the one hand for children with autism spectrum disorder, but also for people with dementia. And so besides 4 partner organizations from Red Noses, it's Croatia, Austria, Lithuania, and I'm forgetting one. I'm sorry. We also have Payapupas in Spain and Clown Organization in Finland. And together we are, for the next 3 years, developing special formats for children on the autism spectrum. And so there the idea is really go for co-creation and into a inclusive way. Yes.
So this idea of co-creation, this is of course something that the clowns always use this concept in hospital, that you
Yeah.
are co-creating a scene, co-creating a dynamic,
Exactly.
co-creating a special dialogue. Is there, do you see potential for co-creation, for example, in times of COVID? What about online resources?
Yes, that's a very good question and somehow difficult to answer, because in the very beginning, I must admit that I refused. I didn't believe in it, because I thought, what is our power? What does the society need? What are we lacking in COVID time? It's human connection. It's being there physically. And out of my experience, I can really say what especially these children miss. Its physicality, it's being together, it's being in the same space, it's this very direct, very strong connection with time. And so through the screen, I thought, no, this can't work, never, forget it. But nevertheless, we said, no, we don't want to stop our mission, we don't want to let them, let's try. So many partners start to try to connect with them through the computer, through Zoom meetings, and again, magic happened. It worked very, very well, because the need is strong, because maybe young people are also have easier access to media tools and systems. So, and especially children with autism spectrum disorder had absolutely no problem to connect through computers, and it's working very well. There are many good examples where we also get used to it, and we, once the connection is so strong, we can forget about there is actually a screen between us.
Well, I have to say, Christophe, that even though we're not sitting in the same room, I still feel very touched by your words and by the very
Thank you.
concept of engaging with children and people with special needs as healthcare clowns. So even though we're only connected by via the internet, you've still touched me.
Thanks a lot.
So with that, I would just like to invite you to say one final thought before we close out for today.
Yes, yes, there is one important thought that I would like to share, and this is really for everybody, for every human being, whoever is following. It's not only for us clowns, is that we are trying to connect with them. We are trying to give. We are trying to help them, support them, make their life condition better. But there is one aspect that I really understood and that I really can say, is that in those 8-9 years that I'm working with these people, is that I learned a lot from them. And I think that we can change and we can learn so much of things that we forgot, life quality, observing the richness and the beauty that surrounds us. To connect with this, it's something that we forget with our speed. So open your eyes, open your ears, and connect with all kind of people, because that's what's the most important, I would say. And thanks a lot, Scott, for this
Thank you
interview.
for
I
reminding us
enjoyed it
how
too.
important it is to be open with all of our senses and to be inclusive.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot too.
Christophe. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
For me too. Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.